yet. We'll wait a few moments. How's it going? It's a beautiful day. Let's just get this going. You're going to go down there for a second while I fix this. Doo-ba-doo-be-doo, boo, boo-doo, boo. Doo-doo-ba-doo, ba-da-ba. Sunny days bringing us together. Sunny days tearing us apart. Oh, there we go. That's more like it. No, Bixby, you can eat shit. There we go. Welcome, everybody who's watching. This looks a little funny tonight. I know. It's because it's a funny kind of night. There we go. That's about right. Hi. What's happening? It's Brian from Imperial Pulls. Thanks for joining me. I am joining you from a hammock in my mom and dad's backyard. I've been living here since November when my wife and I split up. And I've been very glad to be able to come here. I've been very welcome. However, the internet in my bedroom is terrible. I ironically have better internet here in the backyard than I do in there. So in a pinch, here we are. How are you doing, everybody? I'm doing fantastic. Well, it's 8 o'clock. I guess that's the official time of the stream. So, hi, welcome. As you can see, Joe isn't here. He is off enjoying a show, a very fun show. And so he was not able to be here today. And I said, no problem. I will do the show from here. And in the minutes leading up to the normal show time, I had no internet at all in my room at my desk where I had it all set up. I was going to do this really cool thing with you. And so in a pinch, I remembered that I ironically had very good internet from back here in the backyard. So I grabbed a tripod, I grabbed a pack of a booster box of Origins, and we're going to sit here in the hammock. We're going to drink a beer. We're going to open some cards. We're going to tell the truth. Keep your eyes open and tell the truth. That's what they say, right? Tonight, I'm not drinking a craft beer. I'm drinking a Sleeman Honey Brown, which I found in my father's beer fridge. So, that's what we're going to have, because that's what's available. If I can get it open. Welcome to the chat. Is anybody actually chatting? I don't know how this works now. Well, I don't know. Maybe I can't see the chat, or maybe nobody's chatting. I don't know. Oh boy. That is pretty cold and nice. Well, shall we? Hey, if you haven't checked it out, I know we've talked about it a lot on our channel. Genesis Battle of Champions is in the midst of a Kickstarter. And I got in on it. I bought the tier. I bought into the tier where you get the 40 cards with all the different variants and stuff, which is very, very cool. I believe Joe got himself some serialized cards, which is also very cool and very very typical of him. He loves that sort of thing. Sorry for the vertical video. I'm streaming from my phone today, and for some reason it doesn't like it when you use your phone horizontally because we've all gone mad in a crazy world. Horizontal video is like old fashioned, I guess. I don't know. So we're doing vertical video today. Don't be so far away. There we go. So I don't see the chat. So if you are chatting, I apologize. This was a very uh, last minute plan. It says welcome to the live chat, so apparently I can't. So if you're out there and you want to just say hi, that would help me out a lot. But, you know, if you're lurking and you don't want to engage, I respect that. Sometimes engaging is difficult. An open book tonight, folks. If you got any questions, you want some advice, just let me know. So we've got Genesis Battle of Champions Origins. I believe this is the retail edition. We're just gonna open some cards. There we go. Got some box toppers. Let's open that up. I did remember to bring the Imperial Pulls knife. Because Joe's not here and I can do whatever I want. He always winces when I use the knife to open packs, but I find it's the best way. Let's see what we got here. We've got Tashir, shiny. We've got Satir, also shiny. We've got, oh, look at that. We've got a Hayam, full art, shiny. So already we got some pretty good box toppers there. I'll just put them down there for now. I better move this beer or else I'm going to get it all over the cards. If you're just joining us, sorry for the terrible production value today. Things did not go according to plan. Let's open a pack together. Okay, we've got right hook. You know what? Why don't I just like tell you if I get some really good ones? This is going to be hard to do it backwards like this. And it will go a lot faster that way. If you know these cards, you know which ones are cool. So don't have anything terribly spicy in there. That's okay. Let's start with another one. Itchy. Yeah, there are bugs out here. I think this is our first outdoor episode of Imperial Pulls, such as it is. Yeah, there are bugs, so I have to worry about bite. Hellchasm, Malefic Impalement, Kasha, Mind Reading. I'm really just looking for like foils and epics here. Oh my goodness, that Chris Hansen show. Didn't they sing Mbop? Tar Pit, Move Together, Chasm, Direct Punch, Hell Chasm, Flying Kick, Headlock, Violent, blah, 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 blah. Oh, I got a shiny Zenith Pulse. Shiny Zenith Pulse right there. That's a good one. Aloha, Cardboard Cohorts. Good to see you. If you're just joining us, I'm having some issues today. Joe is away, as you can see. He's not here. And so I told him I would do the show by myself, but we usually do it at his office. And since he's not around, I said, no problem. I'll just do it at my house with my computer and everything. And then I had no internet in the house. So I'm actually in the backyard at my parents' house where there is better Wi-Fi than in that room. So we're sitting in a hammock and we're going to get what we get today. You know, I think there's a lesson in that. Sometimes in life you don't get what you want. Sometimes you don't even get what you need. Sorry, Rolling Stones. But you do get what you get. They say don't get upset, but it's okay to be upset sometimes. Oh, volley of arrows is always fun to get. There we go. That's right. You got to do what you got to do. So this is going to be a weird episode. We're going to go through these cards. We're going to chat. If you want to know anything, please ask in the chat. If you want to know about me, you want to know about Imperial Pulls, you want to know what my opinions are, want some advice? I can give you advice. Oh, you've had to do streams from the iPad before. Yeah. Yep, that's sort of what we're doing today from my phone. I'm not going to bore you going through every single card. I'll just tell you when I get to something good. We're opening Origins, Retail Edition, Genesis Battle of Champions, for those who maybe aren't aware. Looks like we've got 6 people in the stream tonight. Thanks for joining me, everybody. You know what? I know I'm kind of in a weird mood tonight, but I really do appreciate people watching us when we do these, because you gotta make connections, right? And like, I'm sure I don't know most of you in person, but we have this connection, and isn't that better than no connection at all? I think that's pretty nice. We all love cardboard. We have those things in common. Oh, got an epic rare, Lunging Assault. Lunging Assault. Epic rare. Mr. Jetpack, welcome. What do I do with all the cards when I'm done with them? Good question. This was a very quick decision to come on out here to the backyard, so maybe I can show you. I just have a laundry basket on the ground beside... I don't know if that was a bad idea to move that, but anyway, I have a laundry basket on the ground, so I throw the empty packs in the bin, and I put the cards off to the side, and I'll sort it all out in the house later. I've been staying here at my mom and dad's since November. My wife and I have recently split up. Aw, I know, quel dommage. It's a sad time, but it's time for things to change. Change is important too. They say change is as good as a vacation, but those people are full of shit. So I'm going to open some cards back here. I'm going to drink some more beer. Fortunately for my health, I only brought out one beer, so it's really hot today. I don't know where you guys are. I'm in Ontario on the shores of beautiful Georgian Bay. And it was extremely hot and humid. Well, it still is a bit, but we had some torrential rain today. So I'm actually kind of lucky that I'm able to be out here now, because if it's pouring rain, we might just not have a show tonight. Hi once again to the 8 people watching. Welcome. Welcome to Imperial Pulls. In case you're just joining us, my name is Brian. If you've never been to this channel before, usually we're in a landscape ratio, and we have quite a good setup these days. Myself and my friend Joe, we have this channel. Joe is not available today. Here I am in the backyard. Let's see here. I know this is not as exciting to just watch me look at them, but when I get something good, I'll let you know. What are my thoughts on the Kickstarter? Well, good question. As some of you may know, I know Jason and Janice and Jeff. Jason and Janice, I know more than Jeff. I know Jeff a little. But Jason and Janice are good friends of mine. I've known them since before they bought Genesis, and we were just like big fans of Genesis. And of course, as many of you know, Haunted Castle Gaming went tits up, and it was up in the air, and those three went over, and they decided to take it over. And because I know them, it's a little delicate because I do know some more behind the scenes info just from knowing them. Some of it I'm not privy to tell you, or rather than it's not a secret, but it's just unprofessional, and it would be rude of me to tell you some of the nitty gritty. But not to say that there's too much gritty in that nitty, but I'm making it sound really dark. What I'm saying is, I have a different perspective than maybe some other players. I didn't know about the Kickstarter until it was announced on their stream, just like everybody else. Oh, I got a borderless Naja Cobra Epic Rare. Spittin' Venom. Yeah, like a badass. Check them out. I know there's been a lot of discourse about the Kickstarter online. I haven't really been paying attention to it, if I'm being honest. I don't really do like Discord and stuff. That's more of a Joe thing. I think it's cool. And I'll tell you why. I know some people were disappointed that they weren't doing booster boxes. And I think Jason's done a very good job of explaining why they're not including booster boxes. So I won't get into too much, but basically their position is they already have distributors to sell all the booster boxes. If you want a booster box, you walk into your LGS on day one and just buy one. So often when places do Kickstarters with booster boxes, because that is their distribution channel. But in this case, it is not. So this is more, I really think of it as like fan service. They're a new company. They're doing quite well, to be honest. But they thought that doing a Kickstarter to literally kickstart the company, give it a little juice, was a good idea. And I don't think that's a bad one. Oh, we've got a shiny Aura Break. Nice. And I really think that all of the stuff that's in the Kickstarter is not for new players. It's fan service. So if you're a fan, you're being serviced. That's pretty good. I did buy into it. I bought the tier of 40 different variations on cards. I forget what it was actually called. And I'm really excited to get it. I hope I get it, because I guess it only goes if it gets fully funded. And I didn't check today to see where they're at. Boop. Is this working? Is this dumb? Is this whole thing dumb? Am I dumb? I gotta tell you, this being outside thing is pretty good, but this was a very last minute decision. We are currently at $7,000. 17 backers. Well, that's not bad. We got 5 people in this channel right now. I'm pretty happy. So 17, not bad. Again, it's about connections, I know some people were a little frustrated by the Kickstarter because of the booster box issue, if you think it's an issue. But I mean, the alternative is that there's just no Kickstarter at all, and then you still don't get the booster boxes, and you don't get all the cool stuff that's in the Kickstarter. So it's for players. I think it's only a bonus, and if it's not something you're interested in, then you still don't have those things. But if it's something you did want, if you're a big fan or you're a collector, it's pretty cool. It's stuff that you're not going to get. I can tell you that they did the Kickstarter in good faith. Everyone's like super stoked about it. They really picked all those items because they thought people would really enjoy them. So, which is very refreshing when a lot of card companies seem to engage in sort of a cynical business model. I won't name names, obviously, but these guys are fans and they're the real deal. And maybe you like what they're doing or not, but they are acting in good faith and they really, really want to please the fans. I really want to support it, but there's really nothing that jumps out at me that I want or need. That's fair. That it's not a tax. You don't have to buy it. But your point is fair. You have a personal relationship with them, so I can understand that. Yeah, and I mean, and I'm not. I wanted to tell you about that. I had a personal relationship with them because I didn't want people to think that I had a conflict of interest. Well, I guess I wanted to disclose that because I think that's important. We're here at Imperial Pulls. We open stuff. We love Genesis. And I want to be upfront with people that we do know them, but we were passionate about the game before they took it over. So that's sort of our position. And it's only YouTube, it's cool. Oh, I know this isn't like a flashy card, but I always get excited when I get Parry. Because I know I'm gonna ruin somebody's day with it. There we go. I don't know if any of the Edge of Exile people are watching tonight. If you are, hi. Jeff and I are rather close, and I was honest with him in my thoughts. I try to be honest, and sometimes it comes off as negative. I don't mean it to. That's fair. I've seen a lot of your stuff, and I think that's accurate. Like, it's tough and fair. Um, I wouldn't even say it's that tough. Like, you're not a meanie or anything. Just sometimes people need to hear those things. I tend to be on the side of like, let's just have a good time, as I wield a knife waving it around. Hizagurma! Oh my god, that's what happens when you drink too many beers. Caustic Millipede, everybody likes Caustic Millipede. I'm not getting too many flashies here. Of the 3 owners of the game, I know Jeff the least. Just because he doesn't live around here and I didn't know him at first. So I've met him several times. Seems like a cool guy and we always got along. But I see Jason in particular, I see him quite often because we're friends and, and he's not going to like spill all the beans, but, he talks about his feelings and whatnot. And it's interesting. Doop-a-doop-a-doo. I had planned a different show for you tonight. I've been working on some crafts with Genesis cards where I would take some of the full art champions and do like art with them. And I had it all set up on my desk with like cameras and whatever, and then my internet just pooped to bed. So thanks for joining me tonight, gang. Oh, I'm starting to feel a little bit of rain. Well, we're going to power through it, but if it's a huge torrential downpour in a moment, I'm going to grab all this stuff and run in, and you get to enjoy the action. Here's a grandma. I'll try to go faster. So anybody else there in the chat want to talk about the Kickstarter if they have a thought on that? I always just assume everybody knows all this stuff, but you don't have to. Maybe you don't know about it. Maybe you don't know what Genesis is. I don't know. I don't know. Darting Lamasa, Air Soldier, Falingula, Jump, Dancing Stream, young and sweet. She is the dancing stream. That's the kind of stuff that I do, and when Joe is around, and he like glares at me, but he's not here to glare. Looking for the spices. No spices there. I kind of think like I'm here in my parents' backyard. They kind of have this place out in the country doing the show, and I keep hoping that like a bunny will come out or like a turkey. That happens a lot. I went camping this weekend. On Friday night, I met some people. They had canoed into a spot, and I showed up without a canoe, and they had to come and get me because I'm a ding dong. It was a misunderstanding. But they picked me up in a canoe, my daughter and I. And we went out to this little peninsula where they had a lovely campsite. We had a fire. We saw Massasauga rattlers. Those are venomous snakes that live in this area, but only in certain places. And I've actually never seen one in person before. So that was kind of exciting. I will probably end up supporting the Kickstarter because of Jeff, even though it really doesn't interest me, but I do love the game. Well, that's the thing, right? Part of the Kickstarter is that it's unusual in that it is it's not shopping, you know what I mean? Oh yeah, you like my t-shirt? I made it myself, actually. I had Joe's screen printing press in my basement, and I made a bunch of shirts. Yeah, Kickstarter isn't like normal shopping. With normal shopping, like say on Amazon, to use an example everybody knows, you want to buy a thing, you look at it, you decide whether you want it, and if the price is right, and then you buy it, and then they just give you the thing. With Kickstarter, it's different because you're not ostensibly buying anything. You're supporting the person, you're backing them, and those things are rewards. But we do tend to think of it in terms of shopping. So it's just a different way of looking at it. And I wanted to support my friend. I wanted to support the game. More so than I wanted those rewards. I do want those rewards, don't get me wrong, but there's just more to it, right? And then that's my situation. I do know the people. I've supported many Kickstarters before where I don't know the people and I kind of just want the thing. So Kickstarter is kind of a weird beast. It's kind of like it's a fundraiser, but it's kind of shopping. I don't know. It is tricky, right? And a lot of people who support Kickstarters are friends and family of people who are running them. That's just everywhere, every Kickstarter. And so there is also an emotional expectation in a way. And that can make it difficult because you want to support them, but maybe you wouldn't spend the money if you were shopping. So it's a different feeling. Oh, I've got a borderless epic rare psychic blast. Here we go. Nice. Look at all that energy coming out of that guy's head. Like, I think is he having a good time or a bad time? Is he like, oh yeah, I got lightning coming out of my brain? Or is he like, ow, my brain? I don't know. don't have very many left. We've been kind of going at it. Thanks for the comment about the shirt. I made these shirts a while back before Haunted Castle went out. When I was working with Jason at his LGS, I was an employee, and we were very passionate about Genesis just as players. And one day I made a whole bunch of shirts with different Genesis kind of things on them just for fun, and we sold them in the store. We didn't sell a ton, but a few, and mostly we wore them because it was a good time. I just backed it to support. Awesome, that's great. If you don't mind my asking, which one did you go with? You don't have to tell, but if you don't mind to share, that'd be really interesting. Nothing fun in here. Well, I guess all the cards are fun, but didn't get anything spicy. I got 2 packs left. Boop, boop, boop. Tsunami. It's not terribly exciting, but I always get excited to open a Tsunami for 2 reasons. One, it's a fun card, but also I kind of like the art on there. I've always liked this card. It's just really dynamic. I love the art on it. Just did the first tier and token add-ons. May add a playmat later, not sure. Awesome. That's really cool. Those playmats look pretty cool. I haven't. I might add some more add-ons later. I wanted to support it on day 1 to help out. So I just grabbed the one the most pertinent one first, and I may add on later. All right, last pack. I tend to add more things as the campaign gets closer to ending. Yeah, that's fair. I've done that before too. Especially you really want them to succeed, I buy a lot of books sometimes on Kickstarter. There's a woman, well, I guess a bunch of people, but the leader is this woman, and they restore old Canadian comic books from the 30s or 40s that have been mostly lost and not archived. And they search archives and personal collections, and they find all the issues of these comics, restore them, and then publish them in a big volume so that they're not lost. And I think they're doing fantastic work. And I bought a few from them. And so for something like that, it's I really want the book, but also I believe in the preservation of these materials. And if I can be just a little part of that, it's pretty cool. All right, last pack. Let's see. Am I going to get something really cool here? Prowling Yavala, Earth Strike, Right Hook, Scopophobia, Landmine, Prolarafa, High Jump, Darting Lamasa, Psychic Blast, Mano, Spore Cloud, Buffeting Winds, Water Strike, and Death Eater. There he is. So we just opened a whole pack of Origins here. At the bottom, if you've never opened one of these before, at the bottom there's usually some kind of poster, and it's either going to be, well, it's going to be one of a couple of things. So let's see what we got here. There's always, one side is always a playmat. So if you don't have the neoprene playmat, you can play right away. This one's kind of cool. I can get it in the shot here. Kind of interesting. And this one has the poster. We've got Minot there. Can't get it all. Hang on, I'm going to move this back a little so you can see it. And it's got the blurb about Origins there. It's pretty cool. I have another one I opened recently that's a picture of Minot up against the tsunami and the creatures and all that. I put it up in my office at work. So that's kind of cool. Let's close the Imperial Knife of Opening. Empty box. And I'm gonna finish this beer. There we go. Oh, probably the 40s. I believe Action Comics #1 was 38. So not too many comics. That's right. The comics that I was alluding to were printed in Canada. I guess it would have been the 40s because during World War II, all the American comics, because it wasn't just superhero comics. There's also like tech, uh, all different ones. But anyway, um, because of paper rationing, the American comics companies weren't publishing in Canada, and that meant that there were no comics. So all of a sudden, all these Canadian comics would come up. So like Nelvana of the North is one. I think there's one called Doctor something. It might even have been Doctor Strange, but not that Doctor Strange, like a different thing. I can't remember now. It was a while ago. But anyway, so for like a short period of World War II, they were like pumping out these Canadian comics, and they were like pulp. They were like not glossy, whatever. They were just like boom, 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 boom. And so when the war ended, it was before the time people really collected comics, so they all ended up in people's basements and attics and being thrown in the garbage and all that stuff. So there's not many of them around anymore, except in some archives and private collections, and that's what they wanted to collect. And I work in museums. I presently work at a museum and archives, and so that's a sort of thing and I like comic books, so those two things go together. I was really passionate about it. Uh, and I met that woman who was doing all the work at a Comic-Con one time, but I wasn't thinking. I went dressed in cosplay, so I had like a little like tiny mustache, part of my costume. I was dressed as Lando from Star Wars. Long story, anyway. And but then it kind of got too hot or whatever, and I changed out of it, but I had my hair slicked back. I had this little skeevy mustache, and I had this powder blue Wonder Woman T-shirt that I just bought, but it was too small, so it kind of like clung to me. And I went up to this woman and I just said, I was gushing about like, I think you're great and you're doing all these wonderful things. And then I saw what I looked like afterward, and I was like, oh, she probably thought that I was like a creep because I looked like one. Um, so sometimes you gotta not come on too strong. But I was just excited. Um, but anyway, thanks for joining me, everybody. We've still got 5 people here watching. Um, so for those of you who have been with me the whole time, 6 people. Hi, how's it going? Thanks for joining me. Like I said, I meant to do a much more elaborate show tonight indoors. But hey, Janice, how's it going? I meant to do a much more elaborate show indoors here, but sometimes I don't get good internet in that room, and today was one of those days I wasn't getting anything. I could barely connect. And so as 8 o'clock was quickly approaching, I thought quickly, and I remembered that I actually get good internet out here in the backyard, ironically. So Brock Windsor, hey, yes, thank you. Yes, Brock Windsor was another one who was like a sort of like a pulp. Oh, and Johnny Canuck was another one. Johnny Canuck was sort of a wartime, uh, punching Nazis in the face kind of comic. It was really cool. The 40s, really, yeah, exactly. That's the one. Yes, Brock Windsor. Um, but yeah, so anyway, I'm out here in the backyard sitting in a hammock doing the show from a hammock. We just opened, if you're just joining us, I just opened a whole box of Origins, Genesis Battle of Champions Origins, and we're just chatting here. I don't even know what time it is. It's only 37 minutes. This might be a shorter episode, but thanks for joining me, everybody. You know what? I'm gonna be honest. If you go back and watch this stream, I'm a little crabby at the beginning. I was very frustrated about the internet and my situation here, and I've kind of having a rough week or so. So I was a little crabby, and I apologize. So now that I've had a drink and I've opened some cards and I'm chatting with you nice people, I think we're going to have a much more enjoyable evening. So thanks for being here with me. Um, Next week, we're going to switch it out a little bit. This week I am here and Joe is not. Next week I will be away. I'm taking my daughter camping. So you'll be left with Joe, but he has a much more elaborate setup than this. So it's going to be cool. He's got some cool stuff planned for you. Cardboard cohorts. Gonna go find some add-ons. Yeah, I recommend. Well, I won't recommend to. You pick what you like, but you mentioned the tokens and the playmats, and that is a very good choice. So if you haven't checked it out already, you can go to Kickstarter and just look up Genesis Battle of Champions. You'll find it. It's very easy to find. Help out the Kickstarter. You can get some really cool stuff, especially if you're a collector. Um, you're gonna get stuff there, the cards and other collectibles that they're never gonna come again. So if you want them, now's your chance, and it goes to support the Genesis game. They're doing well, but they could use a little infusion, and that's what the Kickstarter seems to be about. And some of their goals, they have some stretch goals too about like being able to do quicker organized play with promos, um, about maybe even being able to list on TCG Player, which would be a very big deal. So if you wish to and you are able, I recommend checking it out. Just go see it. You don't that doesn't You're not committed if you just go look at it. So go look at it. And if you want to, we're when if and when it goes off and we get our rewards, and it'll be a little while from now. We are certainly going to be doing a big unveiling of all the stuff that we got. So uh, we encourage everybody to share with us what they got, and we'll have like a cool Genesis party. It'll be awesome. Oh, looks like the sun's coming out. Well, no, I guess. Well, there's blue sky. I don't know if the sun's coming out. It's also kind of raining, so I should probably wrap this up. Thanks for joining me, everybody. We do a show every Sunday night at 8 Eastern. We also typically do shorts on Mondays and Fridays, sometimes Genesis on Fridays and other things on Mondays. You can find us here on YouTube. We're also on Discord, TikTok, Facebook, and probably other things I can't remember. So thanks for joining me. Thanks for spending this time with me in the hammock, metaphorically, and we'll see you next week. It's starting to rain, so I'm going to go. See you later, everybody. I don't know how to stop it. Ba 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 bum. Ba 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 bum.